It is getting kind of chilly out here. And I just kind of broke my own rule about not doing multiple things on one trip so that I have to walk more. Well, shit, actually I'm walking enough now. So you could say that I cheated. Of course, this rule is only a guideline. As one of the villains said about the pirate's code, well, really, it's only guidelines. Yeah, so I brought a cigarette back with me. I took a dead battery in, put it in the charger, took one out of the charger, brought it back here, and with that, a cigarette. Cigarette without a filter, because I keep track of the number that I smoke in a day. I did skip one filter that's, but I always break the filter off, and normally I just toss it in the trash, and end up counting the leftover butts at the end of the diurnal period, which really is after I get up the next morning after a major sleep. Getting up after a major sleep is the end of the diurnal period, and that's when, if I don't already know it, I will do a final count of the butts, and if the butt is not going to end up in that standard ashtray in the cave, then, as I'm doing now, I break off the filter, put it in that ashtray, and take the cigarette out to smoke. In any case, I not only brought back one dead battery and brought here one supposedly live battery, and I do have a low battery already from the one that was charged a week ago. I believe it was anyway. I did test. I brought all the batteries along on my adventure with Donna, but I never used the camera at all. Well, no, there's like 3 snapshots at the lake at the Seestuben in Terrasse on Starnberger See. In any case, I thought, oh, I'll take video of this whole Rundfahrt, this whole city tour. Well, I didn't take any. Just as well. Just as well. So I'm looking forward to doing what I believe is my final pre-test with cooked shrimp of the final lobster roll tests tomorrow. According to the instructions on the frozen lobster parts, I'm to take it out of its plastic wrapping and leave it overnight in the refrigerator on a sieve to auftauen, to melt, to thaw. Why they do it that way, I really don't know. Of course, to be in the fridge, that I understand. You don't want it at room temperature before you're ready to cook it. So I did the claws just by simulating a sieve with a folded up paper towel in a plastic refrigerator box that was large to plenty large enough to hold the thing and not leave it exposed to the general air. That is the two pieces of the two claw meats. And tomorrow, God willing, it'll be the tail. The instruction is to leave it overnight. So I'm planning to follow that instruction to the letter. Overnight, and except for the sieve, maybe I can think of a sieve, but I kind of can't. There is the kind of like a sieve, cheese shredder, you know, like for hard Italian cheese, for carbonara and so weiter. Maybe that's a possibility, to simulate a sieve. Can't think of anything else. So, it'll probably be the same solution as yesterday. Let any liquid fall into the folded up or rolled up or whatever kitchen paper towel, and proceed. Again, I fried the claw bits today in my kind of standard, rather deep, almost half-inch deep fat pan, a smallish pan that has a thick layer of cooking fat, mixture of whatever, butterschmalz, bacon fat, who knows, sunflower oil, and that's probably mostly it, butterschmalz and sunflower oil. General purpose, quasi-deep fryer. So I'll cook those as I did today, cook it as I did them today, and that's my plan anyway. And tomorrow I will enjoy a double lobster roll experiment. One part on hot dog Würstchen, and the other part, I think, as a closed sandwich on the half croissant that it'll be a fresh croissant, and I could even think of a closed sandwich with the entire croissant. Sort of depends on how thinly I can spread the lobster tail. So I'll cut it up in small pieces, mix it with the veggies and the mayo, maybe a touch of salt and a touch of pepper, fresh ground, of course. And we shall see. We shall see what I blew 28 euros on. Now normally I spend similar amounts of money for fresh fish, mostly sashimi and sometimes swordfish. It's not cheap. Well, that's pretty nice. 9 minutes. Well, I can also go to 10. Why not? So, adventures. Well, you know, that's one of my adventures right now, is recreating the ideal metaphorical, metamagical, historical, or whatever the hell it is, lobster roll. And the most romantic way I can look at it is that it relates to Sherry, my first wife, who did introduce me to lobsters. Being a maniac, that is from Cape Elizabeth, Maine, she did introduce me to lobsters, and also to the fact that you don't touch a lobster pot's Bowie. You don't touch it, because the lobster man has the right to shoot first and ask questions later. Or at least the custom. I suspect that no jury would convict a lobster man of shooting first when somebody molested his traps. All right, a jury of your peers. Lobster men. So, if you want to murder somebody, get them to go out, and I don't know if this is really apocryphal, but get them to go out and molest somebody's lobster pots when the guy is around with his rifle. And, yeah, gotta be that cool hit. Right. Almost as good as suicide by cop, which I hear is a thing these days, so to speak. Well, this low battery has lasted for much longer than the last low battery. This is now 12 minutes. That's enough. Maybe I'll do more later.